all the red flags that I had, I overrode because I had very brilliantly said, you're going to feel uncomfortable and you're here to learn, no pain, no gain.
Mm.
You know, we're just talking about these things. It's just a piece of fabric around your neck. If you don't like that, there may be some issues there, maybe around authority, and we'll look at that. So if you
Mm.
leave, it's set up from the beginning. If you leave, you're basically weak because you can't even have a conversation.
Right. Right. Just
Yeah.
immediately getting you to be compliant.
Yes. Yeah.
Immediately, like even those little things, like they seem like little things, but there's this psychological principle called the foot in the door technique, which basically says that if you can get somebody to do something small for you now, they're more likely to do something bigger for you later on.
Yes.
And that seems to be something that's congruent across a lot of those things, is asking for these small things because, hey, it's not a big deal. Just wear it around your neck. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I
Not a
mean?
big
Like,
deal.
why do you think it's such a big deal? That clearly shows that there's something inside of you that's wrong, not anything that we're doing incorrectly.
Exactly. And every point that I would have had, like, why are we calling him Vanguard? I've never met him. Why am I bowing to him? I've never met him.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he created this. We call a judge your honor. We call a doctor doctor. This is a title to honor what he's built. Do you not think what he's built is amazing? Well, I haven't seen it yet. Like, let's wait.
Right.
But it's a really, really good point. Actually, Keith taught us that. He called it line bending. And he would talk about how if you want to get somebody to do something, like if I want you to babysit my kid, for the weekend, that's a big ask. But if you come over and just help me out for a couple hours, I'm like, I'm running late. Can you just, and then, I got into it. Can you stay the night? Like, and next thing you know, you're doing way more than you said you would. Right.
Mm.
That happens a lot. It happens all the time. And it's incredibly unethical because you're not actually stating what the actual intent is.
So you end up going through the 5-day, and then there's another training on top of that you have to go into.
Yes.
Yeah. So can you walk me through a little bit of like the back end structure, what that looked like for you? And at what point did you go like, I'm in, let's do this?
By day 3, I was hooked. And so they had their classes were 2 to 2.5 hour modules that built on each other.
Okay.
And what they were saying that they were doing is giving us a new framework for your belief system and cleaning up the inconsistencies so that you could operate more effectively in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at any areas of what was called a disintegration, anything that, like, okay, say I want to go to the gym, but you don't. This is common in self-help. Like there's a disconnect there, right? There's something you're not motivated with. And there's a lot of NLP and a lot of tools that were helpful, but it wasn't to the end of day 3 when I had a huge shift about myself and my self-esteem and my self-concept. And I felt like very clear about what I needed to do next. And day 4 and 5 was more of that. And by the end, it was like, this is amazing. I want everyone I know to take this. So I went from being very skeptical and closed to very open and sort of on fire. And now I understand from doing cult research, it's called, like, I was given a peak experience. That sort of, this is amazing.
That
and
emotional state of
yes,
like a massive dopamine hit.
Yes. Or also, yeah, exactly. If you can imagine 5 days in a row of 10 to 12 to 14-hour days of therapy. I did some therapy just before I came here. I felt great. And it was only an hour.
Yeah.
So once you work through so many things, and I think the 5-day was designed to really hook people that way.
Sure.
But it also provided they'd shine a light on, but this is the thing that you need to work on to really evolve. And that's in the next 11 days.
Gotcha.
Which is one of the things that, like, I'm pretty vocal about, is just to be very mindful of, because I'm sure a lot of your listeners, take workshops, and it's not bad to say, hey, this is a program and and there's more, that in and of itself isn't bad. The problem is that they were intentionally creating a problem within myself to make me feel like I was broken in a way, so that I'd pay for more training.
And that they were the only ones that could offer you the solution to that problem.
Yes, that's the unethical thing. There's only one way to do it, and that was with this program. And for the low cost of only $6,000. And also my boyfriend at the time had already committed to that. So I was like, well, he's doing it, I better do it. And I did. I was chasing the dragon. I wanted more. I wanted more of the good feeling. And I wanted to go to Albany because this training happened to be in Vancouver. I wanted to meet the people.
Yeah.
And that was it.